by the UPI poll, which is a coach's poll, and by the AP panel of sports writers and sports broadcasters. Still, there appears to be an outside chance that the Oklahoma-Washington winner tonight in the Orange Bowl could overtake BYU. During the last 3 days, NBC Sports contacted every member of the AP panel, all 60 of them in our survey. We began by asking the question, have you already made up your mind to vote BYU #1 regardless of what happens tonight? Only 30% said yes. So we wanted to find out what it would take for either Oklahoma or Washington to be #1 in the minds of the other 70%. If Washington wins a close game, no chance. BYU still #1. And apparently, even if Washington romps, the best the Huskies can hope for is #2. It's still safely BYU. If Oklahoma wins a close one, they'd close the gap on BYU, but not enough. It would still be the Cougars. Now comes the only scenario which might produce a #1 team and a mythical national champion other than BYU. If Oklahoma clobbers Washington tonight, they've got a shot. 29 out of the 60 said they'd vote for them, 22 for BYU. Keep in mind the 7 undecided. So tonight, Oklahoma and Washington from the Orange Bowl. In any case, it's going to be an outstanding game. Perhaps, if they can win big, there's extra incentive for Oklahoma. Let's get a preview from Don Criqui and Bob Trumpy.
Thank you, Bob. Once again, the final bowl game presents the best matchup. #2 Oklahoma against #3 Washington. Trump, how do you see it going in?
Don, the keys are simple for the Washington Huskies offensively. They got to run the ball. That means beat Casillas, the All-American nose tackle. Defensively, they got to stop the wishbone. That means shutting down the Big 8 Offensive Player of the Year, Danny Bradley.
It'll be a good one, and we'll be back with the live action very shortly. Now back to Bob Costas in New York.
All right, Don, earlier today in the Fiesta Bowl on NBC, another bitter pill for the Miami Hurricanes. It happened against Maryland and Boston College to close the regular season. It happens today against UCLA, a high-scoring heartbreaker. It was 21-7 in favor of Miami in the second quarter when Gaston Green broke off the longest run from scrimmage in Fiesta Bowl history. It covers 72 yards. Kurt Warner of Penn State had a 64-yarder back in 1980. That started UCLA on their way. They led 22-21 at halftime. A seesaw battle in the second half. Steve Bono of UCLA dueling Bernie Kosar of Miami, who was again magnificent. The third of 3 John Lee field goals with 51 seconds remaining. A 22-yarder won it for the Bruins, 39-37. At the Cotton Bowl, Boston College finishes at 10-2. They defeat Houston 45-28, the 45 points, a Cotton Bowl record. Doug Flutie threw 3 touchdown passes, all of them in the first half. This is the first of them. It covers 63 yards to Kelvin Martin, who spins away from the tackle after making the catch and gives Boston College a 7-0 lead. Flutie was shut off in the second half, and after trailing 31-14 at the half, Houston rallied to get to within 31-28. Then BC closed it out with 2 late touchdowns. They win it 45-28. And, of course, in the Rose Bowl, the Trojans out in front of the Buckeyes at halftime, 17-6. Now, I understand Dick Enberg has alluded a couple of times to the balloons arrayed in festive fashion in front of me. Dick apparently finds them extremely colorful. And also, Dick, they're an excellent diversion during timeouts. So now let's go back to Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen. You miss sometimes, folks. In Pasadena. Come on. There we go.
There goes that balloon replica of Pete Axelm. And those are the San Gabriel Mountains that Graham McNamee talked about back in 1927 in the very first radio broadcast coast to coast from here in the Rose Bowl. Tim Green, that's quite a story, the quarterback for the Trojans.
Dick, he's become the story today, and all year long they've tried to protect him because he is a volatile commodity. He can be up and down and sideways all at the same time. On this particular play, and certainly on a number of others, his stock was up. He looks over and finds Timmy Ware all by himself on the far side for a touchdown. That's the final touchdown of the half for SC. But it's amazing that here Ted Toller has protected that young quarterback and tried to give him as easy a role as possible during the year. He's killed him in some games, but he certainly has done a good job today.
2 1,000-yard rushers, but it's been the passing attack of both teams that has moved the ball most effectively. We're going to hear that great Ohio State band later, but right now let's go to the Columbus campus and an All-American, Dave Casillas.
Casillas, number 97, will break through there.
I'm proud to follow in the footsteps of John Frank and Joe Smith as academic All-American here in Ohio State. I feel that Ohio State is a great university, provides a lot of academic and athletic opportunities. I chose Ohio State because I believe that academics has just as much tradition as their athletics.
Academic and athletic excellence, an Ohio State tradition.
Furnished by the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association on behalf of Ohio State University. And that great Ohio State marching band is on the field. Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. The score, 17-6. This one, 18-12.
The sound of the cannon, the bells, and the chimes. The music of Tchaikovsky and 200 brass and percussionists bring our stadium encores to a spectacular finale with the overture to 1812.
Bravo! Over 200 brass percussionists, the overture to 1812. The Ohio State Marching Band, one of the nation's great bands, and we'll visit with another USC in a moment, but right now, a chance to salute the Big Ten Conference, the members of the Big Ten. We say hello on this happy New Year's Day.
The Big Ten Conference was founded in 1896 when Purdue President James Smart called a meeting of 6 other universities in the Midwest. It has steadily progressed through the years until today, where it ranks as the premier conference in terms of athletic and academic structure. Few other conferences can match the combined success that the Big Ten has enjoyed in football and basketball over the years. But it's more than just success on the athletic field that makes the Big Ten the premier conference in the country. It's the value of owning a degree from one of the 10 institutions. It's the day-to-day learning process and the adjustment to college life. It's here on Big Ten campuses where tomorrow's leaders are using their knowledge in the arts and sciences, the technological fields, and social research centers to help make this a better country. Be part of the success story that is sweeping the nation now. Support your favorite Big Ten university and join the winning tradition that makes the Big Ten big time.
Preceding message furnished by the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association on behalf of the Big Ten Conference. And the Big Ten, starting early in this series, winning year after year, and of late it's been the Pacific 10, 13 of the last 15 years. And we'll be back with SC in front at halftime after these messages from your local station. Yeah.
We're going to be on camera. Dick, we're going to be on camera.
Okay, all right. All right. All right. Okay. Which will be the Aaron Copeland fanfare for the common man, right? Right. I think we ought to talk about the Byers thing. What does he have? 76. So he had 1 carry for 50 and 9 for 26. He's been less than, they've held him less than 3 per carry since.
1 minute back to the disclaimer.
And then Crutcher, what does Crutcher have by comparison? 61. So he's almost matched him.
Here's your chance to order the 1985 Rose Bowl souvenir program for the 71st Classic game matching Ohio State and USC. Send a check or money order for $6 to Touchdown Publications, Box 3337, Fullerton, California, 92634. This collector's edition contains in-depth scouting reports, special features on past Rose Bowl games, a section on the record holders, a review of the team's past seasons in words and photos, and many other features. Act now. Send your check or money order for $6 to Touchdown Publications, Box 3337, Fullerton, California, 92634. This price includes postage and handling. You'll receive your souvenir Rose Bowl program soon after the game.
Preceding message furnished by the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association. We're at halftime here in Pasadena, California. The 71st Rose Bowl has USC in front of Ohio State, 17-6. Southern California band will join them in just a moment. First, a comment on the running game. We talked about Keith Byers and Freddie Crutcher.
Dick, I think much of the tempo in this first half was set on that long run by Byers. 50 yards he ripped off, but they didn't get the touchdown. They ended up with 3 points. I think really a victory for the SC defense. Since that time, he's had a lot of carries, but not many yards. In fact, if you look at his yardage, he has 76 yards and 10 carries. So you subtract that 50-yarder, he's averaging less than 3 yards a carry. I think that's a very commending kind of stat for the SC defense. Sending Del Rio and Bickett and Hope, their linebackers blitzing. They've gotten good penetration, and they're shutting off Byers and the running attack before they get into the secondary. That was Byers' long run.
And that was the only significant contribution he made in the first half. But with the passing game of Tom Zach perhaps opening up play, we might see Byers in that All-American frame of mind in this second half. Well, let's go down to the field now. The University of Southern California marching band entertaining this crowd here in Pasadena. Directed by Arthur C. Bartner, and we understand that the climax of their program will be Aaron Copeland's Fanfare for the Common Man. The theme for this year's Tournament of Roses parade was the spirit of America, and feeling that spirit musically, the Southern California Trojan Marching Band.
Nowhere is the spirit of America more eloquently stated than on the Statue of Liberty.
Music you heard so often during the Summer Olympic Games from Los Angeles. A stirring contribution by Aaron Copeland. And we understand a special surprise in the red, white, and blue carton there at midfield. a chilling climax to these halftime festivities. The Southern California Band and a tribute to the great lady and the refurbishing of that marvelous monument, the Statue of Liberty. And now let's visit the Southern California campus.
This is the University of Southern California, standing proudly on the threshold of its second century. 100 years of academic excellence, private support, and responsible independent education. A century of outstanding men and women, leaders in the arts and the professions. A tradition of commitment, a catalyst, not merely a reflection of the vital changes in its community. This is the University of Southern California, proud of its independence, prepared for its future, accepting the challenge of private higher education. The University of Southern California, moving toward Century 2.
Preceding message was furnished by the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association on behalf of the University of Southern California. The end of halftime, and what a treat it was. 17-6 USC. The teams are on the field. Second half coming up. Yeah, but I thought that was terrific. I thought that was great.
Thank you, David.
Big story. Big story.
Boy, that is. Can they program that average drive?
Yeah, you programmed the drive, right? Yeah, because Dick is in command of them now. He wants to.
Big difference, field position.
Yeah, look at that. Especially when you take that, that's 27 times at least 7.
Yeah.
That's 189 yards. We're talking about 200 yards difference.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the better half times I think they've ever had here. I'm okay. I don't need him. Anyway.
Leading ground gainer was Fred Crutcher. He carried 15 times for 61 yards. Tim Green attempted 16, completed 8 for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the leading receiver was Jimmy Ware. Caught 3 for 56 yards, 1 touchdown, the longest being 19.
Welcome back to Pasadena. The sun starting to cast its shadow here in the late afternoon. The 71st renewal of this Rose Bowl game, and the 39th time the Pac-10 and the Big Ten champions have dueled, each winning 19, and Ohio State and USC each winning 3 times in their meetings.
Word getting back to us, Dick. I mentioned that there were 2 11s on the field, Timmy Green and Steve Hill. One would be unlucky, the other one lucky. It's been Green who's been lucky, and Hill, we get word that he has an injured collarbone. He may not even be able to continue on the day, so the luck on the side of SC to begin with. Let's see how it rolls in the second half.
Only 2 touchdowns, both passes by Green. Spangler kicks it off, a low line drive taken by Albert Watts of USC. And Watts getting to the 30. Nice little inside move by Watts, who began his college career at the University of Oklahoma. USC beginning at its 30, it has by far enjoyed better field position throughout the first half. Well, there it is. 8 drives for Ohio State. The average start at their own 18, while USC starting from its 45.
The further you have to go to get that touchdown, the more opportunities to make mistakes, the more difficult it is to sustain the drive. Field position, critical in the first half today.
And 2 interceptions in Ohio State territory led to the USC 2 touchdowns. Crutcher straight ahead about the 34-yard line. Just to review the scoring, Neil Hoke intercepted a pass at the 47 of Ohio State, and that led to the Green Cormier touchdown. And then late in the half, Haynes interception at the Buckeye 24, and a couple plays later, Green hit Ware 19 yards for the touchdown. A late field goal by Spangler in the final seconds of the half made it 17-6, and that's where we stand.
This is the snap. The snap is good. 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 The snap is
first down. Good attacking defense, and Chris Spielman there again along with Giuliani for the Buckeyes.
Dick, after watching that wonderful halftime, it's just a thrill for us to be here for this great game. And you would see Jim Boyle, who's the president of this year's Tournament of Roses, and you know there are over 800 members that really give up a good part of their year to make this happen. 29 different committees, and what a beautiful job they have done this year.
The parade, this game, and the halftime, the combination so far, non-Perel. Third and short, and it's Crutcher diving to the 40. It'll be very close as Spielman again makes the tackle for the Buckeyes. And this freshman is playing like an old Big Ten performer.
Well, they certainly knew that he was going to be a great player. We mentioned it. He had knee problems or ankle problems. Look at that. He refused to be knocked out of the play. That's a little efficient tripping there by the youngster. Throwing his legs. Watch him whip his legs. Can't make the tackle. He's been knocked off his feet. Just rolls right into Crutcher and takes Crutcher off his feet.
And denies the Trojans the first down by about a foot.
Excellent play by the freshman.
That was important for the Buckeyes, trailing 17-6, to not allow SC a long drive to add to their lead. The Buckeyes will get it on the punt as Troy Richardson comes in. Mike Lanise back at the Buckeye 20-yard line. 10 men up front for the Buckeyes. Now they drop some back. Another great kick by Richardson, and Lanise fair catch back at his 17-yard line. So Richardson perhaps accepting the challenge of Tom Turpa, the brilliant kicker for the Buckeyes.
It's amazing what a little adrenaline can do for the system. And certainly Troy Richardson has been benefited by a great deal of that pumping adrenaline today.
45 yards, no return for Richardson, and the Buckeyes again, as was their fate in the first half, starting with poor field position at the 17. Lanise and Carter come out to the left. The tight end is Taggart. Barry Walker and Keith Byers behind Tomzak, and the All-American Byers stopped again. Neil Hope, the senior linebacker from Los Angeles Fairfax High School, spearheaded that charge.
Hope right there to meet Byers at the line of scrimmage. A squat linebacker. He looks smaller than he actually is, but great power and a great feel for the football. It really flows well to the ball. Both these teams try to protect those linebackers with the 3 down linemen, and they expect those linebackers to make the high percentage of the tackles. Certainly that's true in the case of SC. 3 linebackers are their 3 top tacklers.
Byers out, and John Woolridge, speedy tailback in for the Buckeyes. Whoa! And Tomzak catches it and throws it again. Incomplete to Taggart. Well, that was a bit of Doug Henning there for the Buckeyes, and almost a big play.
I don't think you can throw 2 forward passes, can you, Dick?
I think if you're just juggling it to yourself a little bit, maybe they'll call that just a fumble.
Just a bobble, perhaps. Well, maybe so. Maybe calling that one a fumble. Perhaps the ball went backwards. I know it's illegal to throw 2 forward passes on the same play, but maybe they consider that first one just a lateral back to himself. Tomzak lateraling to Tomzak.
Well, that's a kind of initial mistake that often leads to the big return or big play. We saw that in the Fiesta Bowl, where they fumble on a kick and then it turns into a punt return touchdown.
That's not the kind of beginning they wanted for this drive, believe me.
3rd and 8. Under pressure, but wide open is Carter, and he almost went all the way. He's down. I believe they'll whistle it dead. Yes, at the 44-yard line. Great catch by Carter, who took quite a lick.
I think when we look at that play, we're going to see that Carter was actually hit before he caught that ball. Tomzak under pressure. This is the speed defense again. Only 1 lineman in. All the rest linebackers. That was Jerome Tyler, number 1, coming in from the backside. Let's see if he does get a hold of Carter. Right here, he'll come from the left side of your picture. Yes, he did. Right just a fraction of a second before. But Chris Carter, amazing concentration, and you see the ball bounce out after he hit the ground.
First down at the 44 for the Buckeyes, and here comes Byers. Oh, look at that. There are 10 men on Byers and 1 standing. All 11 men were within a yard of Byers when the whistle sounded.
Artie Gigantino is going to be very, very pleased about that kind of defense. Often we show you replays at a slower speed. We're going to give you this one at regular speed. Look how quickly those defenders arrive. Oh, that sounded like a train wreck.
Oh, that's like running into the City Hall, that sound. There are the first half statistics. The Buckeyes winning the statistical battle, but trailing 17-6. 2nd and 10, no gain. Throwing back and wide open is Mike Liddy. No, it's Carter again. And the clever freshman is to the 21-yard line. Jerome Tyler made the tackle, and Chris Carter having himself played a Rose Bowl game, the freshman.
SC, aware of their weakness in the secondary, they've been able to cover it early in this ball game. They were not able to cover it in this particular situation. Tom Zach rolling to his right, throws all the way back against the grain. Now, they must have seen something in the first half. They made an adjustment. They're taking advantage right there. Pete Biggers, number 17, trying to get out to make that tackle. The linebacker, and you see Tom Zach, he knows they got a chance now to get on the board.
First down at the 21, and a rare call to the fullback, Barry Walker, the junior from Lancaster, Ohio. He gets 3, maybe 4. Carter has 6 catches, and he's over the 100-yard mark for the Buckeyes.
I think there's an interesting personal relationship between Artie Gigantino, the defensive coordinator from SC, and Glenn Mason. They played high school football against each other back in Edison, New Jersey. And Artie was just a sophomore, and Glenn Mason a senior. They didn't know each other then. They've become good friends, and here they are masterminding an offense and a defense against each other in this Rose Bowl today.
2nd down and 7. Tom Zach. Byers staying on his feet after he was drilled by Tommy Haynes, and we're watching closely. Haynes does get up. Oh, the sounds alone tell you the story of that play.
Byers could keep his feet after that first shot.
3rd down and 4. Looking for 6. He's got Taggart out of bounds at the 6. A flag is down in the backfield of Ohio State. It's either 1st and goal or a penalty against the Buckeyes.
Mark Karowitz, the right offensive tackle, extremely upset.
Face mask against Ohio State.
Mistakes, how they will kill you. Earlier, a 21-yard run called back because of a penalty, and now a pass reception that sets them up inside the 5, and they're going to march it back and carry a penalty back against Ohio State.
And with it, 3rd down instead of 4, or 1st and goal, it'll be 3rd and long.
Face mask against the offense, 15 yards.
Perhaps in the course of trying to block his man, someone in there grabbed a hold of a helmet, the mask, and wrestled his opponent down. So it's 3rd and 26 back at the 37-yard line.
Well, the official was talking to Mark Karowitz on that last play. We certainly wouldn't want to blame him without actually seeing the play itself.
Lanise to the right. Carter with 6 catches and 125 yards is out of your picture to the left. A lateral, and it appeared to be Taggart, the tight end, that gets inside the 35-yard line, and the gain of 3 as Dwayne Beckett was the man applying the pressure.
Del Rio, coming from the outside, is looking at 2 blockers on this play. Rory Graves, 75. Jim Lachey, the All-American, inside, and he gets through them, and he's got Loudermilk. That's about 750 pounds waiting for him on the inside. Jack Del Rio.
Long field goal attempt to be the longest of his career, 52 yards. It's long enough. Indeed, it's long enough. It's good! Rose Bowl record, breaking the one that was set in the first quarter by Steve Jordan, 52
most old straight-up kickers can kick. I'll bet Luke Rosa is somewhere very proud right at this moment.
Well, that would have been good from 62. Spangler admiring a new Rose Bowl record, 52 yards, 3 more points for the Buckeyes. Yeah, that's something.
Well,
Never had a 50-yarder and get
you know what we
one
need?
game.
You know what we need? Let's talk about the fact that a touchdown and an extra two-pointer will get them right back in the ball game here.
Oh, that's
okay.
We may do this shortly.
What?
We'll do this shortly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've got a Woody Hayes story I wouldn't mind getting into.
Yeah. Have we ever been able to find where Woody Hayes is sitting? Do you know where he is, Steve? Where Woody Hayes is sitting? He's in the press box somewhere. Down below, lower level? On our level. Woody Hayes is on our level. Do we have any camera that could look up? No? Looking for Woody Hayes? He's on our level, same level we're on. Down, go down. You're down.
The 1985 Rose Bowl is brought to you by Astra from Gillette, the essence of shaving. By Mr. Goodwrench and General Motors Parts. By Allstate for home, auto, business, health, and life. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by Hertz, the #1 way to rent a car.
Welcome back with 8:37 left in the third quarter. The Buckeyes have drawn within 8. Of course, you have the 2-point conversion in college football, so they're a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from a tie. As Spangler, fresh from his record 52-yard field goal, kicks it off to Tanner and Watts. Elbert Watts will not run it up. First down at the 20. So 3 field goals by Spangler. 21-46 just before the half, and 52 yards to start this third quarter. Ryan Knight, number 26, the sensational freshman running back for Southern California, is in the game. He played only briefly in the first half. Highly recruited, Rubidoux High School in Riverside, California, and he gained 485 yards rushing this year, backing up Freddie Crutcher. But this is to Kennedy Pola, the fullback. And he's got some running room. Boy, it almost looks like he tries to find a uniform to run into. He didn't like all that open area. And he found Thomas Pepper Johnson. Not until he had picked up a first down.
The steady pounding of that tailback coming out. Little counter there. You see how he just starts, kind of hides in behind the line. Everyone reacts to the left. And here comes Kennedy Pola back to the outside. Ooh. Oh, that hurts all the way up here.
Fred Crutcher is in now, and Ryan Knight, who was a decoy on that play, is back on the sidelines.
Greg Rogan, 29, and getting run over out there. Ouch.
Picking on those little defensive backs. Green guns it complete to Crutcher at the 43, a gain of 8. Now Tim Green from Redondo Beach, California, he says, I'm not a milk and cookies type quarterback. He likes to talk, and he's made some rather brash statements that some of his teammates said, hey, don't say those things. Other teams hear that, and then they get mad at us. And he said, well, my character is to talk as well as to play hard.
Well, you know, and if you can back it up, it ain't bragging. I can't remember who said that, but Tim has been doing it today.
2nd and 2. Crutcher went down as if he were shot, and there he is again. Chris Spielman. Oh, my, he must have about a dozen tackles already.
Number 36, watch him right on the right-hand side. Look how quickly he reacts to that play. Ducks in underneath that block and nails Freddie Crutcher in the backfield. Well, they had billed him as an exciting player, and boy, he has proved to be every bit of that. Look how he got underneath that block. He'll just pop right up into that play and knock Crutcher off his feet.
10 tackles for Spielman. It's 3rd and 1. Ryan Knight, the freshman, It appears he did cross the 45, and if so, that would be a first down. He is listed at 6'1", probably closer to 5'11", 205, but very strong legs. He's a 430-pound bench presser, so he's got a lot of power.
Spielman and Johnson, the two inside linebackers there to make the play, and it was an excellent defensive play, but not quite good enough to stop the first down. And the OSU defense, the Buckeyes need a turnover, Dick. They've got to make something happen defensively here.
6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. 17-9, USC leads. Green on first down. To his tight end, Boyer. And he's in Ohio State territory at the 47-yard line. A 6-yard pickup. Greg Rogan made the defensive play.
Ted Tollner angry about something on the sideline.
Tollner, who succeeded John Robinson. Robinson retiring from collegiate coaching for less than a year before accepting the head coaching job with the Los Angeles Rams.
Dick, one of the secrets to the success of this SC offense today, great pass protection. Green has not been sacked so far on the day. Only 16 sacks coming into this game by the SC on the SC quarterbacks.
Meanwhile, SC has really pressured Tomczak. Ryan Knight, the short yardage to the 45, and Pepper Johnson, 98, made the tackle.
Pepper in to try and strip that ball, really trying to tackle the football on that play. They are trying to force the turnover. Let's see what happens on a 3rd and short now. 8-point lead on the board. What do you do here? Great chance for a play-action pass, but, well, it's been Tollner's style this year because of his situation to be conservative. Let's see if he does it here.
3rd and a long yard. Cormier in motion. And it's the fullback Cola easily for the first down to the Buckeye 43-yard line. Eric Kummerow in on the tackle. Pepper Johnson and others. Johnson, 98 of the Buckeyes. He and Keith Byers are real good buddies, and what they like to do whenever they have some spare time is go bowling. Did you ever set pins? I can remember ducking those things back when I was a kid. How'd you like to have Byers and Johnson firing that black pill down the alley?
It wouldn't be worth it. I did set pins, and it wouldn't be worth it.
Thank goodness for automation. First down. 17-9 USC. Green breaking 2 tackles, 40. Look at, he runs like a fullback to the 32-yard line, about 10 yards for Green.
He's got some spunk. He ran extremely well with that play, breaking out of a tackle. He's back, and one of the ways a quarterback can help his offensive line is when there is no receiver, when he can see the protection breaking down, get in gear, get moving. He breaks away from a tackle there and ends up with a good gain. In fact, they're measuring it for the first down.
Dave Morrill had a chance, number 57, to get him there at the line of scrimmage, but Green is strong.
Yeah, a little stiff arm there by Green.
William White, along with Byron Lee.
Yeah, linebacker from the other side.
Oh, 1985, there is a common denominator with what has happened in the year past, and here it is.
You know what's great is it's on this side it's an OSU wave. It gets over on the other side, it's a USC wave.
Equal time.
Equal time.
The fans having a great time. Now they're all involved. So 508, pick your side and have a good time.
Well, that's what you call an impartial wave there.
Like opening up the top of a big anthill. I don't know why we have a time delay here with 5:08.
They had to take the yard markers all the way back across the field, just short of the first down. 2nd and just inches. They had to be reset on the far side, and now the officials putting us back into motion. Earl Bruce concerned as SC is in great field position again.
Down to play with 2nd and short. Green will just give it to Ryan Knight, and he's dropped for a loss. Pepper Johnson met him in the hole.
Pepper Johnson and our young freshman Spielman And there's Pepper out to say, that's the thing we wanted to do. That's what we had in mind. Watch the two linebackers, Spielman and Johnson, both penetrating. Pepper gets there first, and Spielman comes in to finish off the job. The two inside linebackers very, very quickly on top of the tackle.
And a loss of a yard for Ryan Knight. Spielman now with 10 tackles and 3 assists has had a big Rose Bowl game, the freshman. Green rolling, throwing to Norman, incomplete. Ohio State has held. We'll see if Steve Jordan will try another long field goal.
We saw him earlier, number 36 at the top of your screen. Watch him going up in the air to try and knock that ball down. A mid-air collision between 36 Spielman and 26 Ryan Knight. He's liable to hurt one of those ankles again.
Well, we're going to have a 51-yard attempt, apparently, by Steve Jordan, who set a Rose Bowl record when he connected from 51 yards in the first quarter, and then had that broken by Spangler's 52-yard shot.
We sure know he can kick it that far.
It's long enough. It's good. Isn't that something? In 70 previous Rose Bowls, no one ever kicked one longer than 47. We've got 3 50-yard plus field goals today.
Ohio 9.
Steve Jordan gets the 3 back that Spangler put on the board, and it's 20-9. That's something, isn't it?
It's
103 yards, actually. Oh, his 2, yeah. How do you pronounce his name? He's your guy, right? How do you pronounce his name? What, Blade? You don't know exactly what he is down there. Hayes is in seat 37-38. As you look at us, to our right on the
It's to our
level.
right. What does he have on? You know? He's to our right as we face the field in the press box.
USC のフィールドゴールが
Are you going to try to take a little of their call?
USC のフィールドゴールが決まりまして20対9となりました。第3クォーター残り時間は4分5秒。USC のキックオフで試合が始まります。これで両チーム合わせて今日は5つのフィールドゴールが決まっています。
USC 20, Ohio State 9 with 4:05 left in the third quarter. 2 field goals in this period, 103 yards, 152 and 151.
And they have both been perfect so far today. They haven't missed an opportunity. Both field goalers hitting at 100% on the day.
Jordan, who now has 6 career field goals of 50 yards or more, kicking it off to Woolridge and Byers, the talented tandem for Ohio State. Struggles. A spectator today, but he was here so many times and put on some rather interesting antics on the sidelines. Woody Hayes, former Ohio State coach, admirer of history, military history, and certainly in many ways coached in that manner. He's had his lows and his highs, but he's taken them all like a man, and it's nice to see him in Pasadena for another Rose Bowl Classic. Great, perfect.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry.
Now, do you want, now we can tell
Yeah, come back. Yeah.
No, we're going to do a story on Woody. Are you going to take a play?
Okay, let us tell the Woody story first. Okay.
No, not 2. 1 should be enough, huh? We'll get ourselves trapped if we... Yeah, maybe not. If it's a good play, it may
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, if it's a nothing play, let them go 2. Okay.
Sweaters and jackets are on. This 100,000 plus at the Rose Bowl is sun setting. The lights are on. USC leading Ohio State 20-9. Woody Hayes, you crossed paths in your football life.
I have an interesting story I'd like to share with you, Dick, after this play.
Mike Tomczak, the quarterback. He's 15 for 22, but 2 passes intercepted today. Just under 200 yards throwing the football. Takes over at the 22. His team down by 11. Ken Blair, number 46, who gets the call for short yardage.
Dick, the Ohio State team was staying at the Huntington Sheraton, which is close to my house, and the Rams, and I was playing for the Rams at the time, were preparing for a playoff game. The night before the game, New Year's Eve, Woody was putting his team to bed, and I had been there to have dinner with my wife. I'm heading out the door. Woody sees me, and I said, "Hi, Coach." And he walked over and took a hold of my arm. He said, "Son, you should be home in bed. You've got a big game coming up."
He's going to try to throw a Ohio State uniform on Tomczak, and Byers hit immediately by Neil Hope. Byers stopped shy of the 30, so it'll be 3rd and about 3. Well, we have this telecast going nationwide and worldwide, and with us with their live call back to Japan Asahi Television. Let's see how they call this critical 3rd and 3.
我々の放送席を映してくれています。さてボールオンはオハイオステート陣内の29ヤード、サードダウン3の攻撃です。ファーストダウン獲得まで残り3ヤード。大事な攻撃となりました。左にピッチアウト。キープバイヤーズですが
いやー、素晴らしいですね。オールアメリカンのラインバッカー、80番ビケットですか。
はい、そして1番のフリーセーフティーのタイラー。
Well, you heard Dwayne Beckett, All-American linebacker, in the tackle along with 3 safeties, Jerome Tyler. A critical 3rd down loss, and the Buckeyes will punt. And this is how they get their kicks back in Japan, listening to it. I guess we're not going to hear that. All right, Tupa delivers, and does he? What a kick. To the 20.
And a good roll.
And out of bounds at the 10-yard line for Tom Tupa, and that'll be near a Rose Bowl record, we would think. 66 yards for the freshman. I recall Bracken of Michigan set the Rose Bowl record, and that has not been erased. It was 73 yards by Don Bracken back in 1981. 1975 was a critical call by USC football coach John McKay against these Ohio State Buckeyes.
Going for 2. They could win it. If they blow it, they could lose it. Hayden throws, and he has it.
Next break will be a station break at the end of the quarter. Okay?
Larry. Let's follow the SC line out of the huddle and talk about their flip-flop. They come out.
We're not going to do that. Listen to them.
Dick, follow them out of the huddle. Okay. What are you going to do? Excuse me. What are you going to do? Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
What's his 44.5? He's had that something. The other guy, nobody's returned anything on. Yeah, the SC guy hasn't been returned at all.
4, 3, 2.
Viewing this telecast around the world, from the Azores to the United Kingdom, bless the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces and our Atlantic and Pacific fleets. Happy New Year, everyone, and thank you for joining us at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. With 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter, USC with the ball deep in their own end with the lead, 20-9. Buckeye fans making a lot of noise down at this end of the field. And Ryan Knight gains only 2. Dave Morrill, 57, with a tackle.
Morrill over from his right tackle position. Excellent pursuit along the line to bring Ryan Knight down.
USC, well, they don't have a right tackle or left tackle. They actually line up strong side, weak side.
They really do. They flip-flop their offensive line. If you watch them come out of the huddle, they'll sometimes approach the line directly from their huddle. Other times they have to go back and forth to get the strong side or the weak side of the formation.
Strong side being the side to the tight end if there's only one in. In this case, there's 2 in. Crutcher. And the Buckeye defense playing with spirit, and a fumble apparently. Oh, they're marking it down at the 14-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 6.
Looking at it from a camera we have atop one of the poles that holds the net behind the goalpost, you'll see the play. Again, they're trying to strip that ball away. It was knocked loose, but not until Crutcher had bounced on the ground.
There's the camera on the netting that keeps the ball from going into the crowd on long kicks. 3rd and 6. Green to Cormier, and a critical first down for USC at the 23-yard line.
Scotty Leach over to knock Cormier out of bounds, but Timmy Green again coming up with the big play, and we've said it a lot today. He was not expected to be the hero of this game. He certainly has been the outstanding performer so far. Just a quick throw to the outside. The H-back in motion, upfield. Cormier, the second tight end of the game, just catches it and turns it up for a first down.
Todd Steele, 21, replaces Kennedy Pola at fullback on first down. Toss to Knight. And he's toppled after the short gain. So Ted Tolner now going to Knight and Steele to try to give his starters Crutcher and Pola a breather. Morrill and Spielman again on the tackle.
Steele had hurt his leg earlier in the week in practice, and I mentioned one of the things that was very different about the 2 practice sites for this game. There was a lot more hitting going on in the SC camp, especially this last week, and they have looked sharper in that department. Perhaps it did pay some dividends to have those rougher and more physical practices during this last week.
And that is the end of the third quarter. 20-9 USC. Back after these messages from your local station. The stat that I would like to get up here is the one that has Big Ten 12-1 at the start and Pac-10 13 of the last 15. Do you have something like that?
Let's get that one. 1450. Jeff, the other one I could use is that 1450, the experience. Freshman, junior, sophomore, gives us a chance to talk about what these guys have coming back. Okay.
No. Okay, I see. Well, that really... Well, except that that's not... Okay. I'll tell you what. Let me say first that, boy, when they first started this series, it seemed that the Big Ten would never lose here. I mean, they started out, lost only 1 time in the first 13 games. They were 12-1, but of late, and then you go to this. But it's even now at 19 because that's how that would work. Okay. Okay, great. First game. Yeah. You know, I don't think anyone would even notice that, and then when you call their attention to it, and the shots have been beautiful. Okay.
1985 Rose Bowl is brought to you by Michelob Light. You can have it all. By your Toyota dealer and the unique 1985 Toyota van. It's a whole new movement changing the world of vans. By Gillette Foamy Gel, with more lubricant for the closeness and comfort you want in a shave. And by Wang. Wang puts people in front of computers.
Well, as we open this fourth quarter, you can see that Buckeye run defense tightening as Anthony Giuliani drags down Ryan Knight for a loss. It'll be 3rd down and 11. Backing up, quarterback Mike Tomczak is 16 Jim Carsados, who is from Southern California, one of the few that have migrated back to Big Ten country. In fact, his dad is a USC season ticket holder.
Talk about mixed emotions.
Yes. Green needing 11 for a 1st down, and it's broken up by William White, intended for Timmy Ware. So the Buckeye defense has stopped USC. Boy, you remember back, Merlin, when this series first began in 1947 when Illinois clobbered UCLA 45-14. Big Ten lost only once the first 13 games. It was 12-1. It would seem like the West Coast would never win. And then of late, it's just turned around. And it's been the West Coast teams, the Pac-10, who have won 13 of the last 15. The series even at 19. It really has had a big shift.
We saw briefly those numbers for the kickers. I think it has been interesting, and we've been a part of that history in the last few. Whoa, almost a block.
Delightfully so. Lanise lets it go, and it's going to have a nice roll for Richardson, who has been a most pleasant factor for USC fans, and Coach Ted Toller. He has kicked extremely well. That one was 50 yards, no return. Timeout with 14:04 left in the fourth quarter. Yeah, and then another something else. Yeah,
okay, all right.
Well then, but why put the punt stuff in? I don't know. Couldn't you have held off the punt stuff?
All right.
Seems like we're out of kind of whack today.
Okay.
No, that's right. But
no
to do
problem.
both. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about here?
Anything you want.
It is the start of a new year. They have to get some points on the board, Larry. Yeah. You put me on the spot if you want. Tell me I'm going to